Right guys, welcome back to another midweek episode with Just Vanning It. In this week's episode we're going to concentrate on answering regularly asked questions on all of our social media platforms. So let's jump straight into it. So we've changed it up, haven't we? We're
going to call this episode Banter Over Beer or Banter with a Beer.
Because we get told a lot that why the coffee and tea, so we introduced a bit of Great Northern into this one.
We also just met...
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. But we also just met a lovely couple, Leanne and John. Thanks so much for popping in to say hi. And thank you for my awesome vegetables. I'm going to be enjoying those. Might get Derek to do a taste test and report back, but we love meeting people on the road, don't we?
Love it. And all these people we've met on the road, most of them have become long-time friends, so we do appreciate people actually coming up and saying good day, because yeah, that's just what we like to do.
So cracking into the questions, and we've gone with some of the most common questions we get. So the first one is, why the Cruiser over the Ford?
So the Ford, if you don't know, if you're new to the channel, it broke down and was quite a major breakdown, and then also gave us little niggles along the way. It was a 2014 PX1, and I just felt that I wanted to get a car that could just go, and I took a little bit of persuasion to persuade Sue into allowing us to get a 79 series. We actually ordered a 76 brand new, but I picked up a decent second-hand 79, and it's had a few little niggles, but things that I can sort of fix by myself on the road. And
that's why we went with the Land Cruiser, just because it's a much simpler vehicle in terms of the mechanical and electrical.
Well, you know, sorry, I don't need to babble along a lot, but we all know, like, trying to save money on the road. So if you can try and what eats me is that if I can try and do something myself without having to pay for someone to do it, you know, that just saves money. And being able to diagnose stuff on an older vehicle just seems to be a lot easier than the newer vehicles. It's just a personal preference, really.
And availability of parts.
Availability of parts, like rural. You must know, like a 79 or 70 series Cruiser is used by a lot of like cattle farmers and stuff like that. So that's in the back of my mind, as if while we're traveling out in rural areas, if we had to sort of come undone, you know, hopefully you could just go on to approach a cattle farm and pay for some stuff from them, because it sounds like they generally carry spares on the actual cattle farms for the Cruisers. So that's why.
The second question, I don't know who's going to answer this one. Do we fight? Ooh, I'll get this one. I'll answer this one. Hell yeah, we fight. We niggle constantly. Derek and I have been together for 15 years. We've been married for 10 of them. We live in a small space and spend a lot of time together. And yeah, we constantly niggle.
Like, if you say you don't fight in just normal terms, I don't know then. But when you're living inside a caravan, you will fight, if not a bit more, just because of the space.
Yeah.
You got to get into a routine. Like, everyone needs their space. So, you know, if Sue just goes off for a morning and goes for a walk and got coffee, I understand that. It's not like I need to go with her all the time. If I go to the beach and go for a fish by myself, Sue just knows, like, you know, everyone needs their space. So it's pretty important that we'd still do that here while traveling.
The biggest one we had was actually after about 9 hours on the road, 8 hours on the road, and I don't even remember what it was about, because you don't actually need like a valid reason to have an argument. Sometimes it just happens, and the only thing I could because we were in the car together, was turn my back to Derek and look out the window. So I did that.
And it was quiet for about 3 hours.
Yeah, it was great. Alright, the next question. Will you travel without roadside assist?
Yeah, we got this question actually
We've had it a couple
today
of
or
times.
yesterday, and a couple of times, and in last week's video we did say please get it. Definitely won't travel without it. Like we said last week's midweek video, that we set off without it because it's all about saving money and stuff. For 300 or whatever it is,
It's probably about 400 a year.
oh, whatever it is, but definitely get it.
Yeah, it's invaluable, and the thing about insurance is that you don't need it till you need it, right? So don't be caught without it. The next one we get all the time, traveling with a dog animal. And how do we find traveling with a dog, and do we have any tips? Would we change it? So the interesting thing here is we did travel with a dog, then we lost Sophie, had time without a dog, and to be honest, it was really easy traveling without a dog because you have no limitations. The difference being I really love my animal, so we chose to travel with one, and yes, it does affect how you travel. It requires a lot more planning. Sometimes it requires additional costs because the places you can't stay where you want to, so you have to stay at the nearest, and sometimes there's a cost added to that. If you do want to go into a national park, you have to arrange a pet sitter. And the other thing is just planning around making sure that you've got their food, and if they have medications. Bob doesn't have any medications, but if they do, you've obviously got to get their regular medications, which can be quite challenging. But is it worth it, and would I change it? It's absolutely worth it for me personally. I know a lot of people who have said it's not worth it for them. And everybody has their own opinion, and I totally respect that. But
no, don't eat me.
For us it works. The other thing is just the caravan gets dirty so easy because Bob is hauling in leaves,
when we didn't,
stones,
when we
sand.
unfortunately lost Sophie, you didn't realise how you didn't have to, the floor stayed a lot cleaner, a lot longer, the doona and all that kind of stuff,
so
the
much
chairs,
cleaner.
it's just so much cleaner. But
just jumped on the couch.
we wouldn't change it. If there's a will, there's a way, and we somehow have come under. Yes, you can't stay in national parks. That's what's probably the biggest one. But you can go into national parks for the day for a visit because you can get a dog sitter.
Yeah. Alright. If you had your dream setup, what would it be?
The funny thing is, we were actually chatting about this last night over a Great Northern, myself and Jason. And, short and sweet. There's many ways to skin a cat. In other words, there's many ways to travel Australia. Many people have different needs and different stages of comfort that you would want out of your entire setup. I absolutely love my setup the way it is now. If Sue didn't, we've spoken about it. if Sue didn't have to work, I reckon we would have set off in a rooftop tent with a bigger boat. There's talks about, we want a bigger boat, so what do we do? So, a nice Suzu truck with a boat on the tray, towing the van. Look, I don't think we'll ever get rid of our van. We love our van. It's just so nice and homely. It's like a home. So I don't think I'd do the camper pop top thing. I don't know. I'm not. Drop a comment in below if you what your dream setup would be.
And why.
But I don't know. I've seen so many cool setups. I do love my setup as it is. I just think.
Why we have our setup is because I work full time.
Yeah.
So Derek needs to go off during the day and do things. So what that means is I have to be able to be left behind. If we were just traveling in a camper van, he obviously wouldn't be able to drive around because I'd be working in the back, which would be a bit interesting.
I also love what people are doing into this. This is a conversation that can go on. I love the way people are doing up the coaster, the Toyota coaster buses.
Yeah, they're cool.
I did look at that idea and towing the boat with that. There's a couple that we follow that's done a coaster bus with a deck on top, and they
cool.
really you can do it quite beachy, you can put a twist in it, I really do like it. So
but it would have to be 4x4.
Yeah, I just don't think there's in my eyes, a perfect setup because, someone said to me once as well is that you always want something you don't have, and I thoroughly love our setup. We got the tinny. Yes, a bigger boat would be nice, but a bigger boat has to get a bigger vehicle.
Yeah.
But in the caravan, I wouldn't change a thing. So with the vehicle, yes, you know, an Isuzu 4x4 truck, you know, Silverado Rams, those sort of things, so you can have that bigger boat. That's the only thing I would really change.
Alright. Alright, the next one, actually good lead way into it. What does Sue do for work all the time?
And it's a fair question to ask, because like, you know...
Well, who gets to work 100% remotely and travel around Australia while they work full time? So I'm very blessed with the job I have. I work for a company leading their recruitment team. So what we do is we recruit team members across Australia. My team all works remotely from home. They're all in different states, and everything is 100% online. So we can go into an office. We do have offices across the country.
Sue,
and
when we go to bigger cities, Sue books a table and goes into the office to meet people.
Brisbane, Sydney,
which I think is quite
Adelaide, good. I went in Melbourne. So yeah, I basically work in recruitment, like a recruiter. This is also a very pertinent one and a good one. I'll let you read that one.
We get this a lot over the last couple of weeks, is how is Starlink going? I wish that we had Starlink 3 years ago.
From day one.
Because it almost feels like I need to go do another 3 laps of Australia because we can get to those West MacDonald ranges, the Cape Yorks a bit more. We can spend a lot more time up there because the internet was just shocking last year.
There were lots of places
NT, all the way up the centre. We couldn't, like, West and East MacDonald ranges, and the more and more and more and more. So yeah, Starlink is going very well. Yes, it does tend to, the trees and that tend to interfere. Sue will drop out of a Zoom meeting for 30 seconds to about 2.5 minutes maximum, and then it's back online, and yeah, it just in and out. But like currently where we parked up now, there's no trees.
It's probably it's probably only like 10 seconds, but it feels like 30 seconds to
I've actually got the Starlink on top of our big toolbox on the front of the van. I've actually just propped it up there, and it seems to be working there. And the reason why I've done that is to keep it off the ground for the dust and the sand. But
while you're looking up the next question, I've just got to show everyone this. This is Bob's tennis ball that Auntie Pearl gave him. So this is the last one of 3. Look at the state of it. Like, nothing survives this dog when it comes to toys.
Lee and Katie, we met at Palubi. We met them just in New South Wales. They picked up this small little soccer ball. He finally destroyed that. So I bought him another one at the IGA in Wallaroo, and it lasted 10 days and it's absolutely destroyed. I've thrown it away. Next question is, what's your one biggest expense? I'm pretty sure that one is
that's easy.
Easy.
Yeah, that is fuel. Because the old Land Cruiser, the old Cruiser, she's a bit thirsty.
That actually comes up in another question.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'll answer this one nice and short. What camera equipment and programs do you use to make YouTube? I currently, after being robbed, I currently have a Canon 5D Mark IV body with a 14 to 24, 24 to 70, and a 70 to 200 lens, so 3 lenses. That is my photography camera because it doesn't have built-in stabilization. The camera that you're watching on here is a GH5, which I would like to upgrade just because of the focus problem it has. If you watch our Sunday videos, it tends to, what they call, I think, breathe. It can never focus on something, but it is a way better camera than what we had before. I use a GoPro Euro 8. I had a 9, a 9 and a 10.
Which we
they were stolen.
Lost. Yep.
And and I had a DJI Mavic 2 Pro with a smart controller that was stolen up in Cape York. I currently now have a DJI Mini 3 Pro, which actually does a great job. To be honest, it's just that I wish it was a bit more powerful. Last week's video, or Sunday's video, you would have seen I had it 2 meters from a tree, a little gust of wind, I didn't even touch the controller, and it blew it into a tree. Where my DJI Mavic 2 wouldn't do that. And it's a lot faster, so you could drive a lot faster and it could follow you as well. What else do I have? No, that's it. Programs. I use an Apple iPad, I don't know, Pro 16. It's a 2018 model. That's due to be upgraded. And I use Adobe. Everything's Adobe. So Adobe, you don't buy it. You pay monthly for it. So there's packages that you can do. So all the photos get edited in Lightroom, and my videos get done in Premiere Pro, which is Adobe. So I pay a fee every month. I don't know why I did that. I've just gotten used to it. I tried to use Apple's, what is it called?
That's alright.
Can't remember. There's an Apple one. You pay $500 once off. I try to use that for a 30-day trial. I just prefer using Premiere Pro. It's the same as if you, yeah, it doesn't matter. What else do I use?
I think that
covers that. Music. I use 3 platforms. I think I've done away with the 1 platform because my videos are starting to get pinged for copyright claims, although they say it's copyright free. I use Epidemic Sound and Artlist are the 2 I use. I pay yearly for that in US dollars. I think it's 300 Australian dollars each per year. That's where we get our music from. And that's it, I think. Yeah. Next one. And it's the last one. What is the fuel consumption on the Land Cruiser? Now here's another one. Okay, so quick one. I bought the Land Cruiser the year before last. Diesel then was, I remember, filling up for $1.32.
Nice and cheap.
Thought, no dramas. You all know the cost of diesel now. I think the most I paid last year was $2.65, and that was up the Cape. Not too bad, considering other places are a lot dearer. I reckon the car needs a tune, to be fair, and that's what the feedback I've gotten from some friends on travelling on the road. But on a good day, 22 litres to 100. On a bad day, 40 litres to 100. So you can, I work on an average of around about 28 litres to 100 towing.
And I work to buy fuel.
Yeah, that's why it's become one of our biggest costs, and that's why I've started venturing out to other options on terms of vehicles. I'm not saying we're going to change the Land Cruiser. I love my Land Cruiser. It's an iconic 4-wheel drive. It's probably almost every 4-wheel driver
would love to own one.
I didn't buy it to do that. I bought it to just tow my caravan and go to places and be comfortable with it. But we're going to do a whole nother video on that, so I'm not going to blabber along too much on that. But that's it. Some questions answered.
Short and sweet. What we'd like to know is if you have any other questions that you'd like us to answer. These are just the ones that we get all the time, like on the regular. But if there's anything else you'd like to know, please drop your questions in below, and we'll come back to you on that.
Or if your questions come through, what we'll do is we'll do another one of these in a few weeks, and we will incorporate those questions into another video maybe somewhere down the road. But yeah, guys,
but that's a wrap. We've got an exciting episode coming up this weekend.
Sundays is
the big 40th.
Yeah, someone had a 40th birthday, and we had some amazing weather
at an amazing beach camp with
two camps on the beach with some people that we've met on the road. It couldn't have been any better.
And all I'm gonna say is that Derek didn't get bogged, but there was something that happened on the beach. So tune in for that on Sunday. Don't miss it. Hit the like and subscribe button, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. From myself, soon, Mr. Bob. You guys have an awesome next few days. We'll see you on Sunday. See ya.